Howdy y'all and welcome back. The True North Concepts MHA, that is their modular holster adapter. Most of y'all who have seen these have seen them being run with Safariland QLS. That's their Safariland's locking fork system for their holsters. But today I want to talk about the other option, which is G-Code RTI. So let's start off with taking a look at my current G-Code / Safariland setup. All right, so let's start off with what I've been running, and that's the Safariland 6000 series for a Glock 19 on the G-Code optimal drop system. And I've got a Wilder strap there. But the way this works is you get the adapter plate to go Safariland to G-Code RTI, and that allows you to mount up right there. And the reason I really prefer this guy over a standard Safariland mid-ride setup is the Safariland angles back this way into your leg. And for me, it always just digs on my thigh. So I really like that this kind of comes out a little bit from the waist and then is nice and flat. So this has been a really good setup, but I have a gun channel and I got to try all the new hotness. So here we go. All right, so here's a quick before look on body. It is a pretty much optimal drop, as the name would suggest. It's not so low that it requires 2 leg straps or anything, but it definitely gets you down below where you have to FBI style come up. You know, it's not riding on the hip. It just sets it down a little bit so that you can get a nice natural grab on the grip without having to hike too much, you know, of this business going on. So, leg strap or not do leg strap? I ordered the MHA with no leg strap for now. I may end up picking one up later, but I would really like to be able to run it without a leg strap so that if I want to do a run and gun event or anything that requires running more than about a quarter of a mile, I don't want this business all up in my junk chafing and whatnot. So it's just going to really depend on how it all comes together and feels on body. But for instance, with this setup, I could get away. It doesn't flop too much this way. It's this business that really, that's where the leg strap kind of helps hold it onto your body, is that kind of movement. So let's get the new platform set up and we'll see how it goes from there. Quick afterthought before I pull this apart, I wanted to point out that this GBRS belt is an outer-inner set, meaning the outer belt Velcro wants to be making contact with the inner belt, in this case male Velcro, that belt is inside of my belt loops, and I do lose Velcro to Velcro contact at this point. It's not a huge deal. It doesn't cause it to droop or sag very much, but you do notice that you're losing contact right there. Whereas the rest of the belt, as we go down, I lose a little bit there, but otherwise I'm maintaining Velcro contact around the entire waist. So this one little dead spot, I will be remedying that with the new setup. All right, so we've got everything laid out, ready to go. Here is a closer look at the MHA itself. It is very nicely machined and anodized aluminum, as are the moly inserts, sort of moly. And to make this work with the G-Code RTI system, you do have to purchase an adapter, and this is also aluminum. So I'm going to spare you the finicky. I'm going to be Loctiting everything as I go, so I'll just check in as I get each stage finished. So I set to work mating the adapter plate to the RTI wheel and quickly discovered that you want to insert these guys first, here, here, and here. Then you're just going to set the RTI wheel over, and then I've already got some pre-Loctited guys here. These will mate the wheel. I'm working blind here. These will mate the wheel and the adapter plate, and then do the bottom ones. Now you have the threads captive, and then that will mount on with your gaskets to the adapter itself. All right, so I have thoroughly Loctited these, and just a dab in here because I may end up pulling these back out. So I've got my little gaskets staged, and what I'm thinking is probably going to be the setup is going to be that one. So you have 3 choices of height, and I'm going to start with the highest ride height and might end up lowering it once I get it all together. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start out here. So I didn't go too crazy with the Loctite yet, but basically that is how it's going to set up. These come through the back and squish together. So let me do that off camera. So now I have the RTI wheel loosely affixed to the MHA, but I want enough play in there so that I can decide what kind of cant I want to put on it, and then I'll go ahead, pull the screws, add Loctite, and finalize that. But next I want to get these guys hooked together onto the belt itself. So after putting on the belt, doing a quick mock-up, this is the position that I want to lock this in. So you can see I've got that screw all the way down, that one is all the way up, and this is all the way forward. And basically what that's giving me, well, you can see, so there would be if I wanted a lot of cant on the holster. Because I'm running Glock, I've already got a lot of angle on the grip. So I want that grip as flat as possible. And so setting it up like that is the way I'm going to go ahead and permanently lock it down. And real quick before we go topside, I just wanted to point out this is the leg strap adapter for the G-code. And it's super, super close, but not quite to matching up with the MHA. But with just about 3 seconds with a drill, I could widen these holes and make that work, and then just use the screws that I already have. And I might, maybe if I decide I need a leg strap, I'm going to give that a try, as opposed to dropping the 40 bucks for the True North one. Or I might do the True North one. I don't know yet. But just wanted to throw that out there if you're contemplating making this conversion. So I'm digging it. Was it totally worth the nearly $100? It's debatable, but I'm digging it. It definitely looks cool. And you might be asking yourself, why not just go with the Safariland QLS fork system? Wouldn't that have been easier? You've got a Safariland holster. Yes, it would, except that I already have a whole other build already set up with the G-code RTI, and my other holsters are already configured to the RTI. So it's a system that I'm already sort of invested in. So at this point, it was like, why not just keep going down that road? I do like the way it locks up, and I think they look a lot cooler than the Safariland. I don't know why. That's just totally subjective. But anyway, so far, I think I might be able to pull this off without running the leg strap. It feels kind of right. It definitely alleviates a lot of this motion that I was talking about with the G-code that I got, because it sandwiches in and really locks in onto the belt itself. It's rigid. So anyway, I'll report back over time. But until next time, be easy, y'all.